Welcome everybody to our Truck Night America live here for Iowa Speedway for the Hyvee 300 and the 6th race on the Gamebridge Truck Series season. Folks, after a very wreck-filled race last Thursday at IRP, we come to Iowa Speedway hoping for a cleaner race first of all, and hoping for a very good race at that in the second half too. Because man, oh man, last week was a wreck-filled race. It wasn't pretty at all. A very long race at that. A record for the most cautions in a single Gamebridge Truck Series race in the history by I think at least 3 or 4 cautions. So it for sure was not the cleanest race that we could have had. Now we had Iowa Speedway, self-proclaimed fastest short track on earth. So this is going to be a very fun race. There's been a lot of rumblings about Iowa the past year and a half, but they are finally on the schedule here for the Hyvee 300. Aaron Abel's on pole once again for the second week in a row. Abel's got 3 poles, but only 1 win. So can he finally get that win is the question. We'll have to see how Abel does. He's got a lot of pace, but has not been able to iron it down. But we'll see how he does this week. Last weekend we saw Ronnie Halger get the win at IRP, making it 2 in a row for the 83 team. Sergio Vittoria and 1 at Coda, but doesn't count towards, I guess, repeat driver winning. So still have not seen a repeat winner so far this season, but there's one team that has a lot of momentum this week. It is that 83 team. Back-to-back wins at a short track and a road course, so they can do it anywhere at any given time. And Red Bull Fallout Racing overall looking very fast, but so is Racing Motorsports for Toyota, the flagship Toyota program. And they have 3 drivers in the top 3 of the standings. So right now, it is trying to chase those guys down. They are having a run of a lifetime, but how long will it last is the question. There's still a lot of time left in this season, only 6 races in. Still got 22 more to go and 12 more to go until the chase. So there's a lot of things that can happen from now till then. So I'm very intrigued how this race here tonight, or I guess this afternoon will go. Racing here early in the morning, so I hope you guys have enjoyed your morning so far, or if you're just waking up, good morning at that. But a little bit earlier race time here, but it's going to be a fun one today race, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a little bit slick for these drivers, a little bit hotter than usual. I think it is close to 85 degrees here today at Iowa, so that's going to be something interesting to watch. But folks, with no further ado, let's head down trackside to go over all the things we need to know heading into this afternoon's race here at Iowa. Now, welcome everybody, trackside here at Iowa Speedway here for the Hyvee 300, folks. Once again, very fun race up ahead, I feel like, at Iowa. You know, a lot of people have wanted this track on schedule, but it finally has made its way on, so I'm very intrigued on how this race is going to go. But as you can see, Aaron Abel on the pole once again. Second week in a row. Won the pole at IRP. Can he have better luck this time is the question. Can everybody have better luck this time is the question. Last race was very wreck-filled, but we'll see how it goes. Matthew Burnett starts on the outside of him. 3 NS Racing trucks in the top 10, as well as 3 Racing Motorsports and nearly 3 Red Bull Fallout trucks. So definitely going to be a competitive race here at Iowa between the top teams of each manufacturer. Chevy still trying to find some pace, but Matthias Bento, who coming into this weekend did not have a full-time ride, but Jay Valen decided to step away from full-time racing effective immediately for Haynes Racing. So Matthias Bento is a new full-time driver of the 37. He proved himself pretty well coming into this race as he is starting 13th, so he's looking very solid. He will have the 30 of Lamb Ayers on the outside, so Chevy does have some guys up here, but they are still lagging behind. They got to find some pace. But I know Haynes, I know Gale, Onjack, are all trying to figure out how to get those. I don't even know what you call them. Yellow crosses to the front because you got the blue ovals. I don't know. But as we get to the standings coming in to this afternoon's race, you can see that it is still Angel Gutierrez with a firm lead. Gutierrez, I honestly was kind of worried about his fast start. We saw him lead the points to start off last season, and then eventually lose the points lead and just fall from there. But so far, 5 starts this season, he's got a very solid lead over his teammate, 29 points, so half a race over his teammate. And then Aaron Abel, of course, moved up to 3rd. Um, Chris Martin's moved up a lot. He was 10th coming into last weekend standings. He jumps all the way up to 5th. So he looked very solid. Caleb Rose loses one spot to Abel, but he still looks very fast, especially coming into today's race. He's starting pretty well, and he can take advantage of this good starting position if Abel runs into bad luck. Moving on, well, we actually have the 40s teammate of Ryan Osborne in sixth, so two BO Racing Rams up here, and they're looking very solid. Matthew Hubert's kind of fallen off the pace the past couple weeks, has not had too much good luck at the short tracks or road courses, so he's going to hope to look to get back on track when we head back to the speedways as we head to Michigan next weekend. Um, and then we have Patrick Raven, David Dixon. Dixon still faring pretty well. Dixon jumps all the way up to ninth, as well as Raven jumping up to eighth. Those guys were both 17th and 16th in the points standings last weekend, so they took advantage of the chaos last week and had some great finishes. Dixon, we saw him start in the last row, but he drove his way all the way through to a top 10 finish for Gale Force. Carson Miller looked very strong last week and led a lot of laps, but was mostly bridesmaid most of the race. No matter who was leading, had a chance in the final lap, but did not quite get there. And then we have Nick Mahold, Ricky LaFleur, Caden Arcadia still in 13th, so just a little bit out of the cutoff line. Actually, kind of 1 point off, so still trying to get there, but. Um, David Spears looked very fast last weekend as well. Him and Emily York Watson, two teammates for PPB national team for Ram, looking very solid. Then Monica Pato sits in 16th, and then moving on, not on the screen, but yeah, Matthew Burnett, James Daniel, Carl Young, Todd Gordon Castlenut. Just a lot of guys that have not been too consistent so far this season outside of Gutierrez and Alfred. So, it's, like I said last week, it's going to be something to watch out for this season. Can we have guys that are going to be consistent, or will it be another trend of top three being consistent, everybody else just kind of lagging behind? But as we get further into the season, more guys are going to find their groove, be good at these tracks, try to find that pace. It'll be something that will be fun to watch. So that is your point standings coming into tonight. Sorry, folks, if I sound a little congested. I am coming off a cold that kind of prevented me from even getting the race out yesterday, Saturday at 11 a.m. But, Sundays are for racing too, so it should be something fun to see. Um, but as we come to our drivers to look out for here tonight, I'm going to start off with the number 97 of Matthew Burnett. He's shown a lot of pace at these short tracks. He's been very fast to qualify consistently every week. So I do think he has a good chance of winning here today. And 3 teammates in the top 10 as well. That is something very good for that number 97 team. They got a lot of pace, and S Racing has a lot of intel coming into this one. And then we got the 81 of James Daniel for my second driver to look out for. James Daniel looked very solid so far this season. For Lego McLaren has been very strong at these short tracks, and I think once again he's got a lot of pace, he's got a lot of momentum. I think once again Dixon, wow, Daniel can show a lot of pace here at Iowa Speedway, especially starting on that inside line. And then my next driver to look out for is going to be the number 43 of Angel Gutierrez. Gutierrez still has not been able to get that first win on the season, but can it finally happen here at Iowa? He's been finishing well, but he's just not been able to get that first win. And you're gonna want to get that win because if he does, he can stay consistent as long as he wants and have a solid lead. But like, say a guy like Alfred stays in second, but continues to have a lot of pace. Uh, he could have a lot of pace to get race wins. Those playoff points could easily cut down the margin that the number 43 tried to build all season. So it's definitely gonna be something to watch. And then for my final driver to look out for, I am gonna go with that 37 of Bento. We've never really seen a Chevy be this fast so far, and especially in his first start with the new team, I really think Bento could open some eyes here today. Maybe pull off an upset win, and if he did pull off an upset win, that would be amazing because uh, that 37 team, that Haynes Racing team as a whole, they've just not been able to get any luck to go their way so far. But I really think he could get something done here this afternoon here at Iowa. So with no further ado, folks, that is your starting lineup here at Iowa. Let's get these trucks off and rolling, and let's get the green flag in this race. And the trucks are fired up and ready to go here at Iowa Speedway for the Hyvee 300, folks. You hear the engine roaring here in a second as they roll off, folks. But as you see them roll off, here is the starting grid for this afternoon race on the left side of your screen. Row 1 is 41 of Aaron Abel and the 97 of Matthew Burnett. Row 2 is the 81 of James Daniel and the 42 of Alfred. Row 3 is 82 Ricky LaFleur and the number 99 of Ralph Norton. And row 4 is the 43 of Gutierrez and the 98 of Rose. And rounding out your field is Running off your top 10 is the teammates for Red Bull Fallout Racing. The number 83 of Ronnie Hauger, the 84 of Patrick Nolan, and the number 83 of Ronnie Hauger. Okay, so I butchered that, but it's been a while. I've been sick, so let's get this race going here. The second short track of the short track swing here at Iowa Speedway. It's going to be Aaron Abel leading us to green, and the green flag is up for the Hyvee 300 here at Iowa. So as they make their way through, Aaron Abel jumps out to a solid lead. James Daniel in second. He's going to have that 83 Ricky. Oh, and there's a wreck behind, I believe. Or everybody's just gackled up here. No, they keep it going for now. Monica Pato, though, she's going to have to scramble. Oh, Chris Martin's as well struggling. So not sure what happened between everybody there, but looks like we kept it clean. But Abel's still in the lead. But Gutierrez now making a pass on James Daniel, but he's got that 42 of Avery Alfred right behind him. That's going to be something to watch here tonight, or this afternoon here at Iowa, if these guys can be able to make some passes, or are they going to be more strategic and decisive on when they want to make those moves. But now LaFleur in second. Daniel is falling back, but now the 41 of Aaron Abel still leads. Although he's going to have that 82 chasing right behind him, who has a lot of pace as well, with his teammates winning, the last two races. Bento already into the top 10, making some passes here, and we're seeing quite a few drive their way through. Ralph Norton and Caleb Rose have fallen back though, and the 92 Nick Mahold now trying to make something go. Ronnie Hauger, here comes Brandon Haynes trying to drive his way through. Alexander Rowe, Joseph Wood, he's had some bad luck. William Ayers trying to figure his stuff out, but he's got his teammate of 03 of Onjak, who's running right behind him. Just nearly outside the top 20 though. So already some early passes, but it has settled down here up front. Nobody pushing the limit just yet, but we could see a battle for second here between Gutierrez and this 82 of Ricky LaFleur. I apologize for the clipping issues on some of these cameras. I did load in new cameras for this track because the base ones are not that good. But early on, some clean racing here, only 63 laps. This is one of the longest short tracks on the schedule. I think it is the longest short track on the schedule, so not as many required laps, but right now LaFleur still holding off this 43. You're getting a good run to get a pass off, and it's going to come here, maybe. Gutierrez going to make some contact there, give him a little bit of a bumper, but now looking to the inside, trying to chase down this number 41 of Abel, his teammate, and he's just trying to make it a Racing Motorsports 1, 2, 3 at the top of the field. As there goes Alfred trying to follow his teammate right through here. So now making that move is Alfred, but they might have some company here soon with this 84 of Patrick Nolan. But we'll see how it plays out as Alfred's still trying to use that inside line, as 82 is going to hit the wall here. So LaFleur make contact with the wall, and he's now going to have to drop back into fourth. Nobody really using that outside line. Unfortunately, sometimes we see multi-groove racing, but sometimes we will see one single groove. So this might be one of those races where it's going to take a lot to get a pass off, because it's just not a track where you can make a lot of moves at. But Arcadia holding off this 37 of Bento, but Bento looking good so far. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. You guys are going to have to make passing opportunities, try to stick their nose in there. Is back up ahead as Schubert's running really wide back there. up ahead. I thought I saw a battle here for a second, but Ricky LaFleur is already on the back end of this 42 once again, trying to get something going right now. But Aaron Abel still in the lead, but Abel has not been able to drive just quite away from anybody just yet. So everybody's still keeping up. I'm not sure what lap pit stops will be. I have to assume it will be lap 30, 33 likely. Depending on when these guys come in, the strategists are very important for all these teams. Don't want to make the wrong call, so it'll be something to watch here when it comes to strategy. But Arcadia was able. No, he's still in front of this 37. But when it comes to speeds they're running, not too fast. While 7 of Alexander Rowe trying to make his moves here, get into this top 10 row. Showing a lot of speed, but got wrecked by Andrew Gutierrez last weekend, so definitely has some vengeance on his mind. But he and his teammates are trying to make their way through here and break into this top 10. Is now Hubert trying to make a move on Nick Mahold. Well, back here a train is starting between these guys, but this is kind of the Iowa we do see in real life too. Sometimes a lot of passing, sometimes there isn't. It's going to require a lot from these guys, so back up ahead at 11 and 15 of Hallie Anderson Jr. already has contact 96 to Reggie Fogelman. Jimmy West has not entered a race in quite a while, so I'm shocked by that. And Calvin running really high. York Watson having a great day. Osborne, Martins. So lots of trouble for some of these guys back here who are pretty high in the points. Onjak sits currently 22nd. He showed a lot of pace last weekend. Unfortunately, had his engine blown in what could have been his first race win since Phoenix of last season. Of course, the season 1 champion. Unfortunately, was not able to get luck in that one. But yeah, running 115 in the corner. So I'm very curious if some guys are going to be able to make moves compared to others. Which is something to watch. But they're really grilling the inside line here. But Haynes now trying to get past this 27 of Hubert. But nothing quite working now as he's going to shut the door. But back up here. This 97 on the back of this 81. While back up here. Everyone's still, that 43 is starting to run down. This number 41 of Aaron Abel. So potentially looking to challenge his teammate here. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get by him is the question. But, you know, I'm kind of shocked. I honestly thought there would be more lines for these drivers to run here this afternoon. But so far, it's been pretty mellow. And that's something to watch out for. But I kind of think it's one of the races where we were bound to have a little bit of a mellow race as Ron Goodorn making a move on Matthias Bento here to get into 9th. But with how many chaotic races we've had so far, I think this is finally one of the ones where you have a more chill race than we usually see, which in terms of product might not be as entertaining, but for some guys, this is the race they needed. It just requires driver skill, and now lots of moves being done by the 99 of Ron Goodorn, who has a lot of pace, as well as his teammate of Caleb Rose. Maybe tire wear starting to become an issue here as Running Halger, last week's winner, is into that outside wall there. Of course, this is a new track for everyone, but now Bento might give a look to this number. Ooh, made contact with Arcadia. It's Arcadia now gonna fade off a little bit, but here comes Bento coming through. But now these two NS Racing Fords looking like they're trying to drive through. As James Daniel and 97 of Burnett have been hooked up this whole time, not quite been able to get a move off. Is this number 97 of Burnett? Wow. Back up front, a battle for the lead between this 43 and 41. Gutierrez trying to use that inside line, but he's going to have Monica Pato in front of him. Pato and Tom of Pato Racing just have not had a great season so far. Lexi Herman been struggling quite a bit. I mean, Monica Pato is 16th in the standings, but her teammate Herman has not been able to get anything quite done, which Herman was very solid on short tracks last season in her debut, so hopefully they can get something done. But now Gutierrez into the lead as well as Alfred into second. Aaron Abel got caught up in that lap traffic. Can this lap traffic make everybody close in on these leaders and set us up for possibly a dash into the pit stops in a bunch of battles for the lead? But now trying to get past this 11 is the 82 Ricky LaFleur here. But now these guys are going to all be linked up with each other. Now he's trying to get past this 55 of Trey Wright. That Citizens Bank machine for Red Racing. Red Racing has not been able to get too much done so far this season with Caden Walsh and Tanner Calvert and Trey Wright. Hoping to get something done, but Chevy as a whole has struggled, but that's been kind of the talking point all season. Adrian Gale, for example, one of the best road course racers, had a terrible performance at COTA, so he's really looking to get some stuff done this time around. As now there goes Avery Alford moving into the lead now. You're going to have to really make your way through the slab traffic. That's one of the keys in our Truck Night America. Right now that 82 not struggling behind, but now Alford into the lead. And now can he potentially try to drive away and get his first win? But now all on the back, and yeah, these trucks are so slow here that these guys are just all closed up as Aaron Abel makes a huge lunge to the inside of the two of Reggie Fogelman. As well as Alfred was trying to. Sorry, folks. But yeah, it's a common thing we've seen so far. Guys just stuck on the back for some reason. I mean, he's just riding the tail of this 82 Monaco Paddock. I still don't think he has the ability to get past him so far. Past him now. He's got a look, but he's just not taking it. And that could be aggression. The aggression rating making a stand here, but you know, I really think that some of these guys are just a little too nice. And you can see it here as now Gutierrez stuck behind this two of Reggie Fogelman, who's just setting down the brakes here and not letting anyone pass. But now Abel back into the lead as we're closing up here on the halfway point of this race already so far. Very quick one here at Iowa. And now we'll see if this 41 can get past this 5 of Tanner Calvert and the 9 of David Dixon. Now there goes the 42 of Alfred into the lead. No pit stops just yet. These guys are pushing it very long. So I'm curious when they all will bring it out. But now we've seen this lap traffic play a huge role into tonight's, I can't even speak, this race so far. But fortunately for some guys, just unable to get through. So now Alfred on the back of the 70 of Marcus Shields Kelly. Can he get past them? See if anybody, I mean, yeah, that 82 LaFleur is just not aggressive enough to get past some of these guys. And now Pato is holding up this 81, but, oh, Matthew Burnett nearly causing a caution there, which would have shooken everything up. And that was very close, but Monica Pato causes a train there. Yeah, these guys are so close that, you know, we usually don't see this quite tight-knit racing, but I mean, Iowa has definitely brought an unprecedented style of racing here this afternoon as everybody's just really, I mean, I don't know what's say off the pace, but just not as fast as they usually are, I would say. As here comes some guys coming down pit road actually now. This is gonna be some of the leaders, I would say. No leaders come down, so some guys going for the undercut. So, oh, Chris Martins nearly causing a caution there. He is struggling here as these two, as Shields and Gutierrez race down the pit road. So everybody coming down now. Anybody's going to stay out, though, go for an overcut. doesn't quite look like it, so it's going to be a busy pit road. And we'll see how it plays out. But, yeah, Bo Racing's just struggling early on here. Here comes Alfred coming off now. Oh no, Alfred actually coming in. Sweet Caden Walsh, James Daniel has a fast off. Lego McLaren arguably has the fastest pit crew in the whole series. As here comes Trey Wright, Ronnie Malcolm, Sus Bento. But now we will see how the strategy is all shaken out here. The leader was this number, I have to see, it was 41 of Aaron Abel, but where does everybody shuffle around him is the question. Pardon me, folks, but so it looks like it will still be Aaron Abel here. Well, Ondiak's a lap down, unfortunately, all the way in 25th, but he's going to have James Daniel trying to trail him behind, along with Avery Alford and Joseph Wood every lap down, I think. Oh, and a gearbox issue for Nick Mahold, so he's out of this one. I hate to see it for that team, but Joseph Wood's a lap down, so the next driver outside of that is going to be the fourth-year Gutierrez. So Gutierrez, Ragodorn, and then Caleb Rose. So these pit stops really split everybody up. So this is going to be very intriguing towards the end. So if Daniel can get past this 57K to Walsh, can he get a shot at this? Oh, well now, there goes Alfred to the inside. So Alfred going to try to get a move off on his teammate. But, so now, can Alfred get a move on and chase down his teammate? Do you think Onjack's going to be one of the harder guys to pass because he has shown pace that's got lapped under the pit stop conditions? So far, caution-free race. I think it would be our first caution-free race of the season. Of course, COTA doesn't count because there's no caution at road courses, but it would be our first caution-free race of the season. But now Alfred, does he make a move on Onjack, or does Onjack carry too much speed? Looks like so far, yes, but now he's stuck behind Sarah Taylor up here, Aaron Abel. So right now, this 42 wants to get a move on. Yes, he will. There he goes now to the inside of Onjack there, because he knows that he wants to take advantage of this lap traffic up ahead and try to catch up to his teammate. Surprisingly incident-free with how close the race. I mean, I even have the AI set to like really make like, I'm not say, just really try different lanes, but really, I mean, they're not been able to do it so far. But here comes Alfred now closing in on his teammate. Can he get the pass off on Aaron Abel is the question. So Alfred going to try to look to the inside. No, nothing quite there. So now there goes Alfred looking to the inside, caught Abel napping here, but James Daniel is also up here as well. So this is going to be very interesting here late in the race. Can James Daniel steal this from these two Toyotas? Make it 3 in a row for Ford, which would be a very impressive feat. But now Abel gets past Sarah Taylor. Can Alfred make that move? now there goes Alfred moving through now, so doesn't let that number 41 of Aaron Abel drive away too quick here. So now, can he get past Svogelman is the question. That is the next challenge, but it is going to be up to these three, I think, here in the final 20 laps here at Iowa, battling for the win. And Alfred makes wasted no time getting past this too, so we will really have a battle to the end. So despite the lack of passing here this afternoon, these guys are looking very strong. My bad. Unless I click sticky keys or something. Sorry for that pop-up, but now Alfred trying to get past this number 6 of Patrick Raven. He can't get past them. He's going to have his sights set on that number 41, as now 81 of Daniel is stuck behind this number 2 of Fogelman, who's kind of been a roadblock all race so far. He's going to get past them. So Alfred really carving through the traffic as actually Raven hits the wall there. As he's having tons of issues as now the 81 of James Daniel is falling off. And so Daniel might not have the pace towards the end, but a P3 is still very solid. But look at Angel Gutierrez lurking in the background, looking to say hello everybody, how are you guys doing? As he wants to get back in this battle. But some impressive feats so far. Caden Arcadia running solid. A huge train back here between all these guys. But now there goes the 81 to the inside of 82 to the inside here. And that is not Caden Arcadia, that is Carl Young here. Sorry about that. But Carl Young running really solid for Lego McLaren as well. So he moves past David Dixon, is the 82. Arcadia though, I'm not sure where he is actually. He was running very solid. He's running just outside the top 10. He's running 15th currently, so very solid performance for him. And then up here, closing in on the top 20 here, closing in on Brandon Haynes, matter of fact, is the 41 of Abel. But as we just have just less than 15 to go, it looks like it's going to be a duel between the two Racing Motorsports teammates. Aaron Abel looking to get a second one on the season. I am sorry, folks. I don't know why. I keep coughing so late in this race. Just get a sip of water here real quick so I don't keep coughing. But 41 gonna have his 42 teammate running right behind him. I mean, they were running different lines. That 42 of Alfred runs a little bit wide there, so he's gonna lose some time. But Abel's gonna force his way to the inside of this 36 of Brandon Haynes. So now, he's gonna get a 2-for-1 actually. But here comes Alfred as well. Coming to 11 to go at the line. Alfred says, thank you, buddy. I'll take it too as well. As he is really trying to get to his teammate here, as Alfred's so hungry for that first win on the season. Daniel finally getting past the 96 of Gale, but it might be too late if there isn't a caution here in the final laps. But now these two are so close to each other as we're coming to 10 to go here at Iowa Speedway. This will be a duel between the two Racing Motorsports trucks. A very mellow race so far. I think we've kind of been in, I guess, in a run for one, because, I mean, we've had so many chaotic races so far this season, so many racy races, that I think we were bound to have one of these calmer races. But now there goes Alfred to the inside of his teammate. Can he get the pass off? He's got that 15 of Hallie Anderson Jr. right in front of him. But no, he's not going to get the pass off. Abel going to use the outside line and get a great run there. And now Alfred back to the inside once again. Does he clear him this time? No, not quite. But he is going to have a run going into turns 3 and 4. There he goes. So Alfred into the lead in the closing laps. Looking to finally get that first race win and beat his team owner out for it. Daniel making the moves all too late, but it's going to be a duel between these two. Racing Motorsports so fast early on in the season. But, I mean, it's so early on that they like you can't. I don't want to say they can peak too early, but we've seen a lot of crazy things happen here, so I'm not too sure how long this run will keep going for Racing Motorsports. But right now, Aaron Abel doing a heck of a job, but he's trying to get past his teammate Avery Alford, but Avery Alford to the inside of that 30 of William Ayers here as they are making their way through. They're getting into this top 15 here soon as Arcadia to the outside wall up here, as it is just a train here, as I don't know what this train effect this came from, as we usually see a lot of lines we run, but a lot of guys are just looking like they're waving a white towel, but this could cause issues for the leaders if they catch up within these final couple of laps. Coming to 5 to go here at the line for Avery Alford. He's going to try to put a truck between him and his teammate of Aaron Abel. That 79 of David Spears, who was so fast last week, and he is going to do it, but now can Abel use the outside? No, this could be the opportunity for this number 42 here, but so much lap traffic ahead. Arcadia, Carson Miller, these guys are all battling for very good solid positions here. So this is going to be something to watch out for as they make their way up here. 4 more laps for the 42 of Alford. But now he's got to get through this train of trucks here who are all racing so aggressive and doesn't want to take himself out or bring out a late race caution and take us into NTNA overtime. But he is going to make it. It moves to the inside of Carson Miller here. But now it is double file from there. So now he's going to have to sit there and try to cope with the lap traffic here and hope that Abel has a tough time getting past that 23 of Carson Miller. But what a day it's been for Racing Motorsports. We haven't quite seen a race like this since Atlanta with a dominant performer. But right now, this 41 and 42 have been very fast. And I mean, this 42, Alfred's giving this 32 quite a good push. Helping the 32 of Arcadia get his way through it. There's going to be 2 more to go here at Iowa. Lots of lap trucks in the way. But this is how it works here in short track racing. You've got to abide with the chaos. But Aaron Abel doesn't look like he has quite anything left in the tank here. He's once again winning another pole, but not going to quite be able to get it done here, it looks like, unless he makes a huge lunge here. In a Vision Motorsports sandwich here, but here we go. As we come to 1 to go, the 42 Avery Alford is going to be leading. Still in a lot of lap traffic here. Not a lot of passing this afternoon between some guys, but now, does Abel have a shot left? Alfred finally going to get past this 32 of Arcadia here. But here comes Aaron Abel, maybe looking for a last lap pass contact between Emily Watson and the 55 of Trey Wright. Coming to the checkered flag. Avery Alford's going to win here at Iowa. Avery Alford, what a win for him and that team. They finally get it done. So what a performance there for this 42 team. Sorry folks, coughing once again there since called the race, but Avery Alford, what a win there for him, that Racing Motorsports team. Racing Motorsports been so fast so far this season, but have not quite had their drivers get to victory lane. Only Aaron Abel's up to this point, but now that 42 Avery Alford is going to have a winner sticker on the door of that truck. So folks, I know some aren't going to be a fan of this one. You know, it was really mellow compared to what we've seen so far. I mean, since Atlanta, that's been the most calmest race we've had so far. But sometimes we need those calm races. But let's get into the finish results of today's race, folks, and let's look forward to Michigan next week, which should be a very interesting race. As Michigan, one of the best tracks here on NR 2003. I'm very thrilled to see how that one's going to go. Alright folks, so as we get into the finish results of this afternoon's race, folks, before we start into the results, like I was saying, next week we head to Michigan Speedway. It's going to be 40 laps around Michigan for the Ford Motorcraft 500. That's going to be a very fun race. Like I said, one of the best tracks on this game, multi-degree racing, if we've learned anything, it is going to be a very fun one from that race, and we're going to see lots of passing and just lots of calamity likely. Might be a flip of the switch from today's race, which today's race was a little underwhelming, but I mean, sometimes these races are going to be entertaining, but not entertaining, but they're going to be the most passing filled races. But after Michigan, two more races at Rockingham Speedway and then Malley International Raceway for the first time in our Truck in America history. Then we head into the end season tournament. 100 million, $1 million will be on the line. 100 million, a little too much for these teams, but $1 million will be on the line. That'll be the jackpot for these drivers as they head to Fuji Speedway in Japan, making the trip from Hawaii to Japan and then all the way back to Colorado. So it kind of fits the travel thing there. Not too bad for these teams, but then we had to Talladega from there, Worldwide Technology, Charlotte, and the Queen City 300 end off one of the longest races of the year. That's going to be a fun one, but that is just the outlook at the next races. As we get to the finishing results of today's race, see Avery Alford got the win over his teammate Aaron Abel. Angel Gutierrez finishes third. Honestly, Racing Motorsports didn't look too strong here. They kind of got lucky by the pit cycle. Well, not too strong, but outside. I mean, Gutierrez was showing some pace, but I really think that if it wasn't for Ricky LaFleur and some of those guys struggling in the pit cycle, I do think there could have been more challenges. But I mean, so far they're still trucking along, and it is going to be a challenge for some of these teams to catch up to these guys. But like I said, it's still early on in the season. I mean, that's the saying so far. It is still early. Lots of things can go your way. Lots of things can change for these drivers. But I mean, quite frankly, if you're Avery Alford, Aaron Abel, or Angel Gutierrez, you know anybody breaking up your connection. I guess you call them the A team at this point. All their names start with A. I mean, if Gutierrez's last name was A, they completely be the A team. But uh, James Daniel finishes solid. Ronnie Halger, Patrick Nolan, Ricky LaFleur, triple top. All three trucks in the top 10 for Red Bull Fallouts and their affiliates of uh, Lego McLaren 81 James Daniel. Lego McLaren has has the fastest pit crew, honestly. And there has been some tweaks in the ratings to make pit crew ratings and all that more stronger. So I mean, some owners watch and some owners don't. So if you are listening now, pit crew might be something you want to invest into in the future, cause it will be something that matters. And it saw it here tonight with this 81 who made a lot of positions up. But Matthew Burnett finishes out the top 10. I don't know what happened to that 97. They showed a lot of pace, but in practice and qualifying, but couldn't quite get it on. Carl Young drove his way through. Caden Arcadia falls off a little bit. Matthew Hubert is up here. I mean, Alex Rowe actually drove his way into the top 10, which was a good performance by Rowe. I think he started just outside the top 10, maybe top 15. I have to see, but he definitely had to drive his way through. Yeah, he started just outside the top 10. Looking further, you have guys like Brendan Haynes finishing solid. William Ayers, on Jack, looks solid. Patrick Raven didn't quite have the performance he wanted. Reggie Folkman was kind of a roadblock most of this race, but a struggling day for Tom Potter Racing, who honestly, quite frankly, should have been the guys to beat or team to beat at these short tracks this season, but so far just not quite the season they have hoped, not quite the start they have hoped for. The 11 or 01 team, and it might just boil down to the departments. Honestly, some team owners. I don't know why I say guys for everything, but some team owners prioritizing something over the other, and maybe it's not quite working out. Maybe others need to change up what they do, but that is all about how the start of the season goes. You have to make changes eventually to see results. Todd Gordon Castle, another lackluster week. It's unfortunate because I really think this 64 team has a lot of pace. It just may not be at these short tracks. And then I think that is pretty much it for the finishing results in this race you see on the screen or in the Discord later on, folks. Thank you all for tuning in to Iowa Speedway here, the Hyvee 300. Um, a very interesting race to say the least, but thank you all for watching. Sorry for the last lap where I was not able to, where I forgot to turn off the ticker. So lots of mistakes a little bit, but we got through it. I'll be better next week. Won't be half sick and trying to comprehend half of what's going on. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being patient. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week at Michigan, hopefully for a very barn burner of a race. This is Charlie Davenport signing off from In Our Truck Night America once again. Thank you all for another great weekend of Truck Series action. And yeah, join the Discord if you're interested. We have a nice community there. Not been too active, actually, honestly, the past couple of races compared to Daytona. So hopefully the activity steps up. But yeah, that is all from me here tonight. See you all next week at Michigan.